Okay, so good day everybody. So this is the first lesson that I'm going to discuss to you in GME, either 02 or ethics. So let us have the introduction. So let us define ethics and morality. So what is ethics? The ethics came from the Greek word ethos, which means character, and the Latin word mores, which means customs. Because when we talk about ethics, we are talking about someone's character and the culture's customs or the society's customs. Okay? And the technical definition for ethics is it is a branch of philosophy that studies morality or the rightness or wrongness of human conduct. That's why we're talking about here people. Okay? So um we're talking about here the word ethic. So in ethics is it deals with the action so as with what we have and what is our reaction to that action. Okay? And how do we react in a certain or different situation. And in ethics, is we do what is right, not is what is easy. Yun yung isang important na thing about ethics. And in ethics, it deals with how we should live. Should we live in a bad way or in a good way? Okay? Should we live according to our free will or according to the will of the society? Next, shall we aim at happiness or shall we aim at knowledge? Or shall we aim with virtue or the creation of beautiful objects? And if we choose happiness, anong happiness ang pipiliin natin? Will be our, or will it be our own happiness? Or the happiness of everyone around us? Ayan. So, medyo maraming part kung saan magkakaroon tayo ng dilemma. Okay? Next, ethics also deals with and what of the more particular questions that we face, such as, is it right to be dishonest with a good cause? No? So if you're familiar with Robin Hood, ang ginagawa niya ay magnakaw. Pero yung mga ninanakaw niya, ang ginagawa niya ay ipinagtutulong niya sa mga mahihirap. So tama ba yun? Or okay lang ba yung ganong setup? No? Next, na mukhang hindi po ako nakikita. So let me, yeah, change position. Okay. So can we justify living in opulence while elsewhere in the world people are starving? So hayaan ba natin na masaya ang buhay natin while other people ay naghihirap sila? So yan, wait lang. Next. Ethics also deals with, is it going to war justified in cases where it is likely that innocent people will be killed? Na tama ba yung mga nangyayari sa war na meron tayo? So, meron sa iba't ibang parte ng mundo na makikipag-war ka and able for you to get a territory, pero in getting the territory, may mga innocent lives na nakukuha, diba? And is it wrong to clone a human being or to destroy human embryos in medical researches? Ayan, so tama ba yun or mali yung mga ganong idea? And those are the things or those are the questions that we're going to answer when we are asking for ethics. And in ethics, it also deals with what is our obligation. If there is any obligation to the generations of human, ano yung ating obligation with the non-human content, such as yung mga hayop, yung mga halaman, so as with our environment. Next, okay, pop-up question. Which of the following is known as the practice of ethics? So, pwede nyo siyang i-pause muna bago nyo sagutin. Yan, so let us try. So, the correct answer here is morality. Okay? So, the practice of ethics is morality and the science of morals is ethics. So, what is morality? Morality is known as a code or system of behavior in regards with the standards of right and wrong. And it is the principles that concerns right and wrong, acceptable and unacceptable. Kasi when we talk about morality, we are talking about the standards that we have in our society. Ibig sabihin, kapag sinabi nating morality, we are talking about a standard. A standard for right and wrong. Ano nga ba yung tama at mali sa society na 'to? Ano-ano yung mga observable behaviors or observable ideas na meron tayo? Wait lang, hindi na ako nakalipat. Hindi ko na alam kung saan ako pupuwesto, sorry. Ayan. So, ano-ano nga ba yung mga bagay na, concerning or mga bagay na tama at mali in a different context, okay? So, wait lang, magbabago lang ako ng view. Okay, next. Always remember that when we talk about ethics, we are talking about a branch of philosophy that studies morality. So, ibig sabihin, ang pinaka-center na idea ng ethics is morality itself. Next. So, another pop-up question. Which following is known as the science of morals? Ayan. Kanina parang nasabi ko na to. So, I hope na tumama ang inyong mga hula. So, the correct answer for that one is yes, it's ethics. So, again, next one naman is mukhang hindi na nakikita ang another Hindi ko first I'm sorry ha. Okay. So, what are the following question or which of the following are rule? Hindi ko sasabihin ang tamang sagot. Ang sagot ninyo ay ilagay po ninyo sa comment section kung saan nakapost yung video na to. Okay? Hindi sa YouTube ha, sa Google Classroom natin. So, justify your answer kung A, B, or C. Or meron pa kayong ibang sagot. Okay? Tip natin. Next. So, what is rules or rule? Sabi natin. It refers to the explicit or understood regulations or principles governing conduct within a specific activity or sphere. And it tells us what is allowed and not allowed in a particular context or situation. Ang rules class ay ginagawa or ginawa siya ng tao or ng authority figures for us na maging maayos ang isang bagay. Okay? Kasi sabi dito, it is the understood regulations or principle. So, kasi sa isang rule or sa isang grupo, kailangan meron tayong sinusunod na rule. Sa isang community or sa isang parte, no, ng isang society, dapat meron tayong sinusunod na rules. Kasi within that rules, it tells us what is allowed and not allowed, what are the things that are acceptable, and what are the things that are not acceptable in this society. Okay? Next, it serves as a foundation for a healthy society. Kasi if there is no rule, ano kaya sa tingin nyo ang pwedeng mangyari sa ating society? Imagine that there is no rule, there is no law, there is no nothing else. Walang nagbabawal, walang nagsasabi ng pwede at hindi sa inyo. Ano kaya sa tingin nyo yung pwedeng mangyari sa ating society? Okay? And if there is no rule, siyempre ang mangyayari, it will fall into anarchy or yung ating society would be more chaotic. Ibig sabihin, magiging magulo siya. Na parang if you already watch The Purge, ganun yung mangyayari since walang rules. 'Di ba? Pwedeng magpatayan na lang tayo ng magpatayan kasi walang nag-exist na rules. Next, what do you think? Yan, nasabi ko na po siya kanina. So, yan. What do you think would happen if our society or nation does not have any rules? Siyempre, isa lang mangyayari dyan. Chaotic because a society without rules will fall into anarchy. Anarchy means chaotic yung isang bagay. Okay? So and that is also the reason why I set the rules kanina or dun sa ating orientation. Sinabi ko na yung pwede at hindi pwede kasi gusto ko na yung klase natin maging maayos siya. Okay? And gano'n din sa society. Kaya may rules, kaya nag-e-exist ang society or sorry, kaya nag-e-exist ang ah, rules ay para maging maayos yung isang society. Okay? Next. There are importance of rules to human beings. So, wait lang po ha, lilipat lang ako ng pasto. Or sige, off ko na lang muna po. Balik na lang ako later. Okay. So, rules protect social beings by regulating the behavior. Next one is rules help each other, persons retain rights and freedom. So, as rules produce a sense of justice among social beings, and rules are essential for a healthy economic system. Okay? So, with that, rules protect social beings by regulating the behavior. Imagine that our society doesn't have any rules. Ayan. Imagine ninyo na um, sa traffic or dun pa lang sabihin na natin na dun pa lang sa mga highways, walang sinusunod na rule. What do you think would happen? Puwedeng maraming sakuna na mangyari, puwede ring maraming, siguro ano ba, aksidente na mangyari, ayan. Because rules are created enable for us to protect or enable for us to be protected. Okay? Like for this one, for example, may nakalagay po dito na bawal tumawid, may namatay na dito. Ibig sabihin, this one gives us the ano, anong ibinibigay nito? Binibigyan nila tayo ng babala na there's possibility kapag tumawid ka dito, pwede kang ano, mamatay kasi mali siya, 'di ba? So, ganun din yung rules. Yung rules, pinoprotektahan niya tayo. Specifically, dun sa mga bagay na pwedeng makasama sa atin. Kaya nga, may mga times na may bawal. Okay? And kasi, pwede na yung bawal na yun, nakakasama siya sa atin as an individual. So as, through rules is nakakapag-set tayo ng boundaries. Hanggang saan lang yung pwede nating kulit na gawin. Okay? Kung hanggang saan lang yung kulit natin as an individual. Ayan. Kaya then my rules is for us to siyempre set boundary. So imagine if there is no boundaries between us. Ano kaya sa tingin niyo yung pwedeng mangyari? Ayan. So, isa yung sa set ng rules. Next one is rules help each person certain rights and freedom. So, through rules, ayan, nabuo ang Philippine Constitution because it would serve as a rule for every one of us. And dahil sa rules is meron tayong karapatan, meron tayong freedom as an individual. Ano ba yung mga pwede nating i-exercise since yun yung ating sabihin na natin na rights natin as an individual. And meron din tayong freedom na kung hanggang saan lang yung sakop ng rights na meron tayo. Yan. And because of rules, nakakapag-aral kayo ng libre specifically sa mga state universities. Okay? Because of rules ay may naitatakda kung ano ba, specifically sa rights natin, may right tayo makaboto, may freedom kayo to choose kung sino yung gusto ninyong mahalin or pwedeng pakasalan and or bumuo ng life together, no? And that is the reason why rules is important to social being. Like, rules produce a sense of justice among social beings. So, sino ba naman kasing tao ang matutuwa kapagka nasa laylayan lang sila palagi? Sino ba naman kasing tao ang may gusto na, lagi silang naaapi? So, siyempre wala. So, because of rules, nagiging pantay yung karapatan na meron tayo. Pero aminin naman natin na sa hindi, may mga times pa rin ng social injustices. Pero yun ang isa sa trabaho ng rules, ang bigyan tayo ng sense of justice. Next. Rules are essential for a healthy economic system. Ibig sabihin, mahalaga ang rules para sa ekonomiya na meron tayo. Kasi ang rules, ito yung nagtatakda ng product safety. Ibig sabihin, kapag bumili ka sa merkado ng isang goods, nakakasiguro ka na maayos yun. Okay? Like for example, bumili ka ng ano, extension cord. Yan. So, because of the rules na bago ka makapagbenta sa merkado ay kailangan safe na gamitin yung mga product na inilalabas mo, ay siguro tayo na yung binili ninyo na extension cord ay hindi siya mag-spark the moment na isaksak nyo siya dun sa pinaka outlet. Okay? And because of rules, yung mga employees natin, specifically anyone na nasa workforce, meron silang safety. Okay? Ibig sabihin, may mga karapatan sila for the benefits. So as yung mga nagtatrabaho naman such as sa mga construction sites, nabibigyan sila ng standards. Kung ano yung mga pwede nilang gawin as for the safety of them. Na hindi sila matitegi specifically sa trabaho. Okay? And next one is the quality check. Because of rules, nakakasiguro tayo na yung mga products na nabibili natin sa market ay magtatagal siya. Na hindi porket isang beses mo lang nagamit, kinabukasan wala na, hindi mo na siya pwedeng gamitin. Okay? And because of the rules, nakakapag-set tayo ng standards, nakakapag-set ng standard sa market natin, specifically dun sa mga goods na binibili natin. And next one, because of rules, is that napapangalagaan yung ideas na meron tayo. Kasi rules are essential for a healthy economic system kasi andun yung, if you're familiar with patent and copyright, ayan. So, yung rules din yung nagtatakda nung ano na yon. Kasi sino ba naman kasi ang gusto na ma-imitate or ma-copy yung sariling gawa nila, 'di ba? Next one, aside from the patent and copyright, is because of rules ay nare-regulate na to yung financial systems natin. Like for example, hanggang saan lang ba yung power na meron yung mga bangko sa paghawak ng pera natin? Hanggang saan lang ba yung ano pa ba? Another one is for the economic system din natin na hanggang saan lang ba dapat yung merkado or market na meron tayo? So as ano ba, para hindi din malugi yung banks, ano ba yung sineset nila na rules? Yan po. And those are the reason why rules are essential for a healthy economic system. And by the way, class, meron pa pala akong idadagdag with this one. So help each certain rules help each person certain rights and freedom. So true rules is na itatakda dito kung hanggang saan lang yung power ng government at hanggang saan yung power ng mga tao in a society. Okay? So next one. Okay. So meron akong ipapagawa sa inyo. So this is a pop-up exercise again. So check po natin sa next week sa face-to-face. Tingnan natin kung tama ang inyong mga sagot. Ang isasagot nyo lang po, yung four essentials or in four importance of rules, which is eto po siya. Nandito siya. Ayan, eto. Eto lang. Dito lang kayo mamimili. Ayan. Wait lang, mag-ano muna ako. Ayan, dyan lang kayo mamimili ng isasagot ninyo. Pero, kailangan, pag sinagutan nyo siya, buo dapat yung importance ng rules to social being. Okay? So, write your answer sa ating, wait lang ha. Okay, kindly write your answer on your filler notebook. Ayan. So, exercise lang naman to, but kindly write your answers on your filler notebook. So, kung wala kayong answer sa filler notebook, ibig sabihin, hindi nyo binasa, hindi ninyo pinanood ang video discussion na 'to. Next, okay? So, answer number one, efficiently allocating resources, assessing and managing financial risk. Ano kayang importance of rules ang tinutukoy dito sa statement na to? Next, creating a law for the welfare of the people. Ano kayang importance of rules ang tinutukoy dito? Next, creation of rights for every Filipino. Ano kaya ang tinutukoy dito na importance ng rule? Next, wanting others to get their fair share of what they need to lead a good life. Ano kaya ang importance ng rules ang tinutukoy dito? Next, imposing a punishment for overspeeding. Ano kaya ang importance ng rules ang ini-impose dito? Yan. 5 items. Exercise. Pakilagay po siya sa inyong filler notebook. Pangatlong page niya. Okay? Sa pangatlong page yun ha. Ba yung unang part, hindi nyo yun ilalagay doon. So, sumunod na leaves, hindi nyo din doon ilalagay. Sa sumunod pa po. Okay? Next. So, in short, everyone in a society could not function if there are no rules and regulations. Isa lang ang ibig sabihin nun. Importante ang rules sa society natin. Okay? So, even the freest society ought to have rules in order to avoid exploitations and tyranny while upholding the common welfare and promoting the necessary protection for the greater good among social beings. And that social beings is tayo. Next, let us discuss moral standards versus non-moral standards. If you have questions with my discussion, pakilagay na lang po sa comment section kung saan nakapost yung video discussion na to sa Google Classroom. Okay, so what is moral standards? Moral standard refers to the norms which we have about the types of action we believe to be morally acceptable and morally unacceptable. Parang mukhang morality siya, no? But in moral standards, we are talking about here the norm. So, ibig sabihin, we're talking about here the acceptable ideals na meron ang ating society. Okay? Wait lang. Okay. So, kasi when we say moral standards, we're dealing with matters. Like, for example, is we evaluated the standards on the basis of the influence or interest of a certain individual. And in moral standards, we are talking about the norms which we have about the types of action which we believe are morally acceptable or unacceptable. Kasi when we're talking about moral standards, we are also talking about the norms and the values with its rules. Okay? Kasi ang moral standards is um it is associated with our feelings and it is the basis to evaluate the standards or interests na meron tayo sa society. Okay? Ibig sabihin, ito yung pinaka-basis ng morals or ng right and wrong in a society. Next. So, wait lang ha, hindi mo na ako magpapakita kasi hindi ko alam kung saan ako pa-press. Okay. So, moral standard force others to act accordingly. Kasi because of moral standards is, kumbaga, since nagbibigay ito sa atin ng, it forces us to act accordingly. Kasi, like for example, it gives us an idea kung ano yung tama at hindi natin dapat gawin. Okay? Next, it normally promote good. Yan. So, it gives us the idea what humans have to do in terms of their rights, so as with their obligations. Yan. Next, Moral standards involve significant wrongs and significant benefit. Kasi moral standards deals with matters which can seriously impact or injured or benefit us human beings. Okay? Like for instance, um, val- uh, violating some basketball rules may matter in the basketball game. Pero, yung idea na yon, since naka-violate ka lang naman ng basketball rules, it does not necessarily affect one's life or one's well-being. Okay? So another example for moral standards that gives us significant wrong or significant benefits. Like for example, sumunod ka sa traffic rule. Okay, dun sa pagsunod mo ng traffic rules, naka-prevent ka ng isang accident. Okay, na-prevent mo yung isang accident, may na-save ka na life ng ibang tao. Okay? And moral standards kasi is um gives us the idea na yung mga wrongdoings natin, so as with our good doings ay magbe-benefit siya ng magbe-benefit siya in different ways. In positive ways or negative ways. Na it is not established by authority figure. Remember that moral standards are not invented, so as formed or generated by authoritative bodies like ng mga senators, ng mga municipal mayors, or ng other authority figures na meron tayo. Because these values ought to be considered in process of making law. Therefore, pag sinabi nating moral standards, since this is not established by authority figures, hindi natin siya pwedeng nullify or pwede natin siya i-shake. Kasi moral standards are there before mabuo yung ibang law na meron tayo. Okay? That's one. It is based on impartial considerations. Kasi pag sinabi natin impartial considerations, wala tayong kinikilingan na idea sa isang bagay. Okay? And when we say moral standards are based on impartial consideration, it does not evaluate the standards on the basis of the interest of a certain person. Ibig sabihin, hindi siya biased towards other person or other group of interest. Kasi mahalaga sa ethics is specifically ang impartiality or ang pagkakapantay or ang pagiging balat. Next, it is associated with special emotions and vocabulary. Okay? Kasi po, when we talk about moral standards, is it gives us the idea that it is a practical or action guiding nature ng moral standard. Like for example, do not kill or do not do unnecessary harm to your neighbors. Kasi yung principles na yan is used for us to use, advise, or influence our actions as a social being. Ayan. So that's why that is moral standard. While non-moral standards naman refers to the rules that are unrelated to moral or ethical consideration, such as it talks about the matter of taste or preference of an individual. Okay? Kasi it either way, these are the standards that judge what is good and bad in a non-moral way. Like for example, ito yung standards that is not necessarily linked to morality. So, ibig sabihin, kapag na-violate ko tong mga rules na to, hindi ka naman magiging masamang tao. Ayan. So, hindi ka naman matuturing na immoral as an individual. So, like for example, fashion. That is a non-moral standard. Kaya non-moral standard ang fashion kasi hindi ka naman magiging masamang tao kung hindi ka susunod sa nauuso ngayon na mga damit, 'di ba? Another one, rules of the game. Ang rules of the game create siya ng authority figure. That's why it is a non-moral standard. Kasi syempre, yung rules na yun ay nagtitake effect lang sa isang game. So kapag wala ka dun sa game na yun, it doesn't affect you anymore as an individual kasi tapos na yung game. Okay? And that is non-moral stand. Next. So pop question. So kindly answer this also on your um filler notebook. Dun sa baba kung saan nyo sinagutan yung pop-up quiz din kanina. So, answer this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ayan. So, tell the truth, house rules, do not cheat, valuing of life, and diligence. Ang isasagot nyo lang po dito is if this phrases is moral standard or non-moral standard. Okay? So, yun lang po ha. Sasagot nyo lang po dito is moral standard or non-moral standard. Yes. So, are you ready? Let's see kung ano tong question na to. Saan tayo mag-lead? Ayan, sorry sa inyo. Minsan parang ayoko na magpakita dito sa yung video discussion. Hindi ko na alam kung saan talaga ako pwesto. Okay. So, for the ideas, anong mas better? Mahal ko o mahal ako? Another one. I know na nakaabot kayo dito. Ano ba yung mga pipiliin ninyo? STEM ba? Gas? TVL? Fumes? EBM ba? And so, this is an example of dilemma. So, we're going to discuss today dilemma versus moral dilemma. So, anong pinagkaiba nila? May pinagkaiba po sila. Ang dilemma, it refers to the situation in which a tough choice has to be made between two or more options, especially more or less or equally undesirable ones. Like, sa dilemma class, it is just a normal dilemma. So, ibig sabihin, meron kang certain situation kung nasaan ka na kailangan mong mamili within two options. Kumbaga parang mentally, you are in a multiple choice question. Like for example, sa karinderya, mamimili ka kung ano yung uulamin mo. Lahat ng ulam na meron dun sa karinderya na yun for lunch ay lahat ng ulam dun favorite mo. So that's why para makapamili ka, kailangan mo, nagkaroon ka ng dilemma. So yung parang situation kung nasaan ka na kailangan mo mamili ng isang ulam lang na papartneran ng isang rice, that is a dilemma. Okay? So, ang pinagkaiba naman niya with moral dilemma is also known as ethical dilemma. And it refers to a situation in which a difficult choice has to be made between two courses of action, either of which entails a transgressing moral principle. Sa moral dilemma, ginagamitan po siya ng moral principle. And at the same time, in moral dilemma, kahit anong piliin ninyo, at the end of the day, there will always be a negative or positive result. Okay? So, as moral dilemma is a conflict between two moral principles. Kasi ang dilemma po is just a conflict, okay, between two states. Pero, moral dilemma is a conflict between two moral principles. Sabi ko nga sa inyo kanina, ginagamitan na po siya ng konsepto ng morality and able for you to come up with an answer. Usually, the decision maker must consider two or more moral values or duties but can only honor one of them. Like sinasabi ko sa inyo kanina na at the end of the day, meron at meron pa rin masa-sacrifice. At the end of the day, meron at meron pa rin um, kailangang i-sacrifice for the duty and honor of that idea. And the individual will violate at least one important moral concern regardless of the decision. Kasi, sabi ko nga sa inyo kanina, kahit anong piliin nyo, at the end of the day, magdidim pa rin ng positive or negative result. Yun. Okay? Next. So, yung mga examples ko po usually in midnight deck, yung mga ganyan. So, basahin nyo na lang po siya for an example. So, this is an example of a moral dilemma. Also, this one. Yan. So, jump up tayo with the three levels of moral dilemma. We have personal moral dilemma, organizational moral dilemma, structural moral dilemma. So, sa personal moral dilemma, it is those dilemmas experienced and resolved on a personal level. Kasi, wait lang, hindi ko na magpapakita ulit kasi hindi ko na alam kung saan ako lulugar. Okay. So, when we talk about personal moral dilemma, we're talking about the moral dilemma which we experience in a personal level. Ibig sabihin, since tayo ang nakaramdam nun, naka-encounter, tayo lang din ang may kakayahan para ma-resolve yung problem na yun. Okay? So, tayo mismo yung naka-encounter nung two or more options na kailangan gamitan ng morality. And usually, these are the dilemma that talks about some ethical guidelines na minsan may nalabag ba tayo or something. Okay? Next. So, like for example, sa personal moral dilemma is, imagine that you are in a situation na kailangan yung mamili between sino yung ililigtas ninyo. Yan. So, that is a personal moral dilemma. Wala namang ibang taong makakatulong sa inyo doon na ma-resolve yung idea na yun, kundi kayo lang din mismo. Next, organizational moral dilemma naman is it refers to ethical cases encountered and resolved, especially by social organizations such as business, medical field, and the public sector. Kasi po, sa organizational moral dilemma, these are the principles and standards which businesses operates. Ibig sabihin, um, wider or broader ideas about personal moral dilemma to. So, kung sa personal moral dilemma, kayo po yung pwedeng mag-solve nun. Sa organizational moral dilemma, kailangan nyo ng tulong ng isang organization. Ibig sabihin, like for example, ay may harassment or may case ng harassment sa workplace kung saan kayo nag-work. Siyempre, hindi lang naman yung involved dun sa case or dun sa harassment yung kailangan dun na ma-resolve or mag-resolve dun sa problem na yon. So, siyempre, halos lahat ng mga employees, ng mga nasa HR, mga nasa um, higher fields yan, ay kailangan nilang isipin what are the different mitigating factors and ano pa yung mga bagay na pwede nilang itulong dun sa victims or dun sa victim para po mas maging magaan or maayos yung isang problema. Usually, organizational moral dilemma ay nangyayari within the organization. Okay? So, next one, ang pinakamalaki at pinaka-broad is the structural moral dilemma. Structural moral dilemma refers to the cases involving a network of institutions and operative theoretical paradigms. It encompasses multi-sectoral institutions and organization. So kasi, pag sinabi nating structural moral dilemma it is a process of systematic moral analysis that predicated on a moral violation with the result to harm another person or another person. So like for example, sa pagpapababa ng gamot. So, enable for us na bumaba yung gamot, hindi lang naman tayong mga tao as consumer yung kailangan manindigan para mapababa yung gamot na yun. So, siyempre, may mga iba't ibang sangay na involved para mapababa yung ano ng gamot na yon, yung price ng gamot. So, siyempre, kailangan nilang magtulong-tulong, enable for them na matapos. Enable for them na matapos yung um, problem na yon. Kaya ma-resolve yung problem mismo na yun. Sa nabako. Ayun. So, next one is, these are the frameworks in solving a moral dilemma. So, ito po, usually para siyang 7-step moral reasoning model. Pero, basahin nyo na lang po siya this time. I-discuss ko na lang siya sa mga susunod na araw. Okay? So, number one, establish the facts surrounding the ethical dilemma. Next one, determine your legal obligations and duties. Establish the interested participants involved. Determine the ethical issues of each participant. Consider normative ethical theories as an aid to determine a course of action. Next one, consider options that would be ethically sound. And next one, consideration of the possible negative and positive outcomes of each possible options. Next. So, sa tingin niyo, ano yung pinagkaiba ng tatlong pictures na 'to? Okay, hindi ko po sasabihin, pero sige, gagawin na lang natin taas, dali. Yan. So, ilalagay ko na lang yung picture sa Google Classroom and then kindly write a quick analysis on ano ang pinagkaiba, pinagkatulad nitong mga 'to. Okay? Next, at this point, we're discussing that only human being can be ethical. Yan. So only human beings can be ethical in a sense that only human being can be rational, autonomous, and logical. That only human being can act morally and immorally, and only human beings are part of the moral community. So let us dig in more with this concept. Number one, only human being can be rational, autonomous, and logical. Kasi, number one, tayo lang po sa other social beings or other beings in this world are able to achieve the kind of dignity and self-respect we could ever have with ourselves. Tayo lang din yung may kakayahan to conceive the ideas and the grounds for our action kung gaano ba siya kabigat. Okay? So as tayo lang yung may kakayahan para mag-isip ng tama at mali at tayo lang yung may konsepto ng tama at mali among the other um, social beings or beings in this world. Okay? Next. The only human beings can act morally and immorally. So, tayo lang din yung may kakayahan para magbigay ng sakripisyo, enable for the others to have a benefit rather than for ourselves. Next. Only human beings are part of the moral community kasi tayo yung may kakayahan to engage and communicate with each other in different ways. And tayo lang yung may konsepto ng economic, political, and familial relationship with each other. Okay? And tayo lang din yung may kakayahan to have a deeper bond and more personal relationship with other people. Okay? Next. So sila, anong pinagkaiba naman nila? Sorry. Ilagay niyo yung sagot ninyo dun sa ating Google Classroom. So next, freedom as a foundation of morality. Bakit nga ba natin sinasabi na yung freedom siya ay foundation ng morality? Okay? So first of all, syempre ay let us define first what is freedom. Freedom is the power or right to speak, act, or think as one wants without hindrance or restraint. It is the right to choose even if others or if we are different from others. Kasi freedom comes in various meanings. Such as, kapag sinabi natin freedom, freedom is also a power. Yeah. And freedom is consisting of other ideas, such as in politics, it consists of the social, political, and economic freedoms in all communities members that are entitled. Specifically, sa philosophy naman, freedom involves free will, such as contrasted with determinism. So, in short, freedom is essentially difficult to define, pero freedom is part of the inherent qualities of human being. In such ways na yung freedom na meron tayo is it gives us the idea that we are free, no, to do the things that we have or we can do with regards to morality. Ibig sabihin, guided pa rin dapat yung actions natin with morality. So kaya siya tinawag na foundation ng morality is because kung walang freedom, we cannot exercise what is wrong, what is right in a certain standards that the society takes us to do. Okay? And remember that, always remember that freedom is not always free. Kasi before natin makuha, before tayo magkaroon ng karapatan na tinatamasa natin in this sense, so marami ang nagbuwis ng kanilang buhay. Maraming sacrifices ang nangyari, no? Before mabuo ang isang idea ng freedom. Next. Minimum requirement for morality is about reason so as with impartiality. So the minimum requirement for morality is reason and impartiality. Kasi hindi ka naman pwede dapat laging tama ka lang. Okay? Kailangan yung isang bagay para maging tama siya, it should always be guided by a reason. May rason siya kung bakit naging tama yung bagay na yun. Bakit naging tama yung isang standard na yun. Kasi reason is a cause, explanation, or justification for, for an action or event. Sa reason, doon natin nalalaman kung ano yung important thing, bakit naging ganun yung isang bagay. So, it gives us or it answers the question why. Sa impartiality naman, syempre, kailangan yung reason na ibibigay natin, hindi siya bias sa isang tao lang. Na hindi siya, na we created that reason kasi magbe-benefit yung isang party. Na dapat, maging tama ang isang bagay, mabuo ang isang rason sa isang bagay na pantay siya para sa lahat. Okay? Now we should not be blinded by the biases that we have. That's why impartiality is kalakip niya si reason. Okay? And that is the reason why reason and impartiality is a minimum requirement for morality. Kasi dapat lahat ng bagay para maging tama, para maging mali siya, or di kaya maging mali, meron siyang rason kung bakit siya naging tama at may rason din yun bakit naging mali. Pero, through the reason of the right and wrong, kailangan it should not be biased with other people's perspective. Okay? We hold the principle of justice. We hold the principle of rightness or even-handedness or fair-mindedness. Okay? So with that, thank you for listening. And if you have any question, do not hesitate to send it on our group chat via Facebook Messenger. So thank you everyone and see you next time.